25-yard line.
Hey, we got Mike 10 right here, guys. Mike 10.
I don't think you got it, son.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
White, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Check, check, check,
They'll
check.
run for the first time with Johnson. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, you can see that they're playing off each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers. You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right, tight on the right.
Hey. We got three. We got three down.
Now Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All day.
Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Now Jones. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the safety creep.
Big edge. Check the backer.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Jackson. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Here we go. 60 outlaws.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
You don't want that. Run it. Get out of here, baby.
Check. 55 to Mike. Check. 55.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ashawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
Go ahead, take a seat.
They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, what we're going to be and what do we need to get. And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Watch safety creep, watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
40 got.
My five.
All day, punk.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
At the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
No chance.
Showing eight.
Out of the pistol to give to Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Boom!
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 29, Jackson, his throw incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him.
Here we go.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Switch.
That is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal. But conventional football 101 tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
At the 23-yard line.
On the set, Mike. Watch 57. Watch the pass.
On 1st down, it's Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Slam.
Tighten up.
Hot seven.
To throw is Jackson. Going for it all. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers.
That's what I'm talking about, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Fortunately for him, we've got a couple more downs to play with.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown,
That's it, baby. That's
Packers.
That's
He returns
it, baby.
that punt 73 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go.
Like 10. Check pass.
From the 27, Stafford. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And this one will be brought back to the 22. They were looking for Johnson that time. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
The 25-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hatchet. Check nickel.
Alert flare. Game on. 43.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. 17-0 our score after 1.
Come on, set. And read. Woo-hoo! Echo!
Where you at? Who's that? Is that yours? Who's that? 57's Mike.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
His faces, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mike 10.
On first down, Stafford here. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
He's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
That's where you belong.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Ready.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Hey, 5-0.
No. Off.
Check 4.
They'll run it with Johnson.
Run.
And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1.
That's it.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's third and goal. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's third and goal.
I'm coming after you. Joker.
Hey, 50.
Check three.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up fourth down. This situation in the fourth quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in, announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On second down now, it's Jones. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Watch the pass.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. 65. 65.
Jackson on 3rd down.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
On the return, here's Agnew. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Get ready.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Jones has it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
22! Hey, 22!
Check 37. Big Dan.
Come.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Throwing deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
Don't go this way.
The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing him.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Going up top. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Mike, check 55, Mike.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Come on, fellas.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Hey, watch the ship.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. A'Shawn Robinson able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now it's Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Nico Hardman, the intended target. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's brought down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
I can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
from the 24. Stafford, rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
All day.
Stafford, he'll rifle this one deep. It got his man complete. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Get him, boy.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get the head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
He goes, set! Get a lady! Get a lady!
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way to get it done.
They'll go again to Jones. Room past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Come on now, let's go.
A big run there by Jones. 78 yards. So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on first down. The first carry now for the BYU man is Jamal Williams. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Again, it's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Spine. 22, jet, cover. No, 22.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight.
A 29-yard attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, through an opening, and there he goes. 30, past the 20, and he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory.
Baby, let's go.
A big run there by Johnson. 69 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the 11-yard line.
Hey, we got set. Lady.
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Now Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, this is one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal.
10's the mic. 10's the mic. Wild Bill. Wild Bill.
From the gun, Stafford. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's what I'm talking about, defense.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Zebra.
They snap it to Stafford. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of field time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
They'll run on first down. Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know you feel that.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they try to sweep to Jones. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Let's go now. 40's mine. 15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Jackson options out left. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Nice hit,
but not a big gain with that play. But what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit. And what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it?
We got 3. We got
Throwing
3.
again
We
on
got 3.
second down. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Ready. Blue 60. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the alert. Watch the slant.
Mike 10.
Now a first down throw. Stafford looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go, baby.
And that penalty will move the ball to the 1-yard line.
So difficult to cover a fade route, and you're talking about into the end zone, and sometimes you panic a little as a defender.
Here we go.
The offensive guys are really smart. Sometimes they jump back into you and create the contact.
Stand up in.
50-50. Hey, turn it up. Turn it up.
To the air again, Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Nick Bawden, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
Now, I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Check.
Again, it's Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
13 yards, first down, Packers.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
He's coming. Hey. Check 99.
On second down, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Ready. 55. Here in the middle. 55. Here we go. Jam him. Jam. Hey. Rush in.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, check it out.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Third and long, it's Stafford.
Let's go, let's bring it.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He finds Roberts complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done as you want, and they did.
Back to throw. Stafford. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
That's it, baby.
11 yards there and a Lion first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Room here to run. A big run there by Jones. 47 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Jackson on the keeper.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for